everyone, and welcome to this edition of the Classic Movie Buffet Theater, and I am your host for the show. Now, today's episode, we're going to talk about a classic from 1987. This movie's kind of like Tremors in the way that it pays homage to monster movies from back in the early days, back in the 50s. The classic movie monsters are portrayed in this film. You have Dracula, Wolfman, you have Gillman, the Mummy, all these classic monsters in this film. It's a great film, and I'm talking about none other than Monster Squad.
My name is Horace.
No, I'm Mike. And this movie, like I said, came out in 1987, directed by Fred Decker, who a lot of you may know from Night of the Creeps, House 2, If Looks Could Kill in the 1990s with Richard Grieco, and The Predator from 2018. Now, this movie stars Andre Gower, and he plays a character by the name of Sean, who didn't really do a whole lot after this, other than mostly TV stuff. He was in an episode of My Two Dads. He played in Sidekicks with Ernie Reyes Jr., if any of you know that show, remember that show. It's a great show. And he also did an episode of Knight Rider. It also stars Stephen Mock. I think I'm saying that name correctly. He plays a character by the name of Dale, who is Sean's father. And he played in a couple of Stephen King's movies. Graveyard Shift was one. And there was another one, I think, that he played in. I didn't write it down, but he played in Graveyard Shift. He was in Nightwing, which is a killer bat movie, kind of like Bats with Lou Diamond Phillips. If you liked it, you'll like Nightwing. And he also did an episode of Walker, Texas Ranger, which everybody knows. That's one of my favorite shows.
That's about right.
And it also stars Duncan Regehr. Now, I think I'm saying that name correctly. I'm not sure. And he plays the character Dracula. And in this film, the way this movie's set up, he was the perfect person to play Dracula. He also played in an episode of The Greatest American Hero, which is one of my favorite shows from the 80s. And he had his own lead role in a TV series that ran from 1990 to 1993. They only ran it 3 years. They did like 88 episodes. But it was called Zorro. And this was one of the better adaptations of the Zorro character, the Zorro franchise. I enjoyed that when I was growing up. He later on played in a movie in the 2000s called Blood Surf. Now, this was one of those giant crocodile, alligator, eat-em-up type movies, which was great. Of course, y'all know me. I love the B flicks, okay? So it was a good movie as well. But basically what the premise of this movie is Dracula summoned all his monster buddies on this little town, and they were trying to find an amulet that they can use to bring on the end of the world and let monsters roam the earth. Now, a group of kids who are monster fanatics and call themselves the Monster Squad find out about this amulet from a scary German guy after Sean's mother buys Bram Stoker or Van Helsing's diary at a yard sale. So they find out about the amulet from a scary German guy who reads it to them out of the journal, because the journal is in German. So then they decide to stop these monsters from taking over the world. Tom Noonan plays in this movie as Frankenstein. Some of you may know him from some other horror films that he's played in over the years. A great actor, great actor. Like I said, this movie is from top to bottom a classic 1987 flick tribute to 50s classic monsters. It's fun. It's comedy. It's horror mix. It's a great ride, and you'll enjoy it. So, with that being said, let's get into a look at Monster Squad.
You know who to call when you have ghosts. But who do you call when you have monsters?
We're the Monster Squad. What's a squad? It's like Miami Vice, I think.
They're young and inexperienced.
Naughty virgin.
They're a bit disorganized.
Monsters are not real.
We don't know that, sir.
2,000-year-old dead guys do not get up and walk away by themselves.
But when strange things start happening in town...
There's a monster in my closet.
Ooh, look at that big, scary monster.
ways to kill a werewolf.
Silver bullet?
They're the only ones ready to do battle.
Something's out there that's killing people. And if it's monsters, nobody's gonna do a thing about it but us.
Soon the creatures of the night shall rule the world.
Real monsters? Us? Midnight in the world, remember? Maybe we can be like Mask Squad instead, you know? Do mask bombs.
Got 1035, stick back up, hurry
Or Nature Squad. The book was right. Don't you see it's all true?
By midnight,
You guys!
they won't seem so young anymore. The Monster Squad.
Wolfman's gone mad.
All right, I'm telling you, this movie was great from start to finish. Fred Dekker did an awesome job. Like I said, all the characters in this film are great. I love the use of practical effects in these movies. There is a such thing as using too much CGI, which happens a lot nowadays. I mean, there's some instances where you have to use it, but more often than not, practical effects are better. Way better. This movie was a classic. I let my kids watch it. They love it. I love it. If you haven't seen this flick, I guarantee you, if you watch this flick, you will not only have the best time of your life, you'll have a great time watching it. I guarantee you that. You'll want to watch Fred Dekker's other films. And like I said, all the other films that he directed so far have been excellent. House 2, the second story, was a little off a little bit maybe. Some people may not like it as much. I enjoyed it, but I like the B stuff. So, yeah, House 2, Night of the Creeps is a classic. Looks Could Kill was a good action comedy. And, of course, Predator was great. I'm still waiting for them to make a sequel to that one, but I don't think they ever will. But anyway, this was a great 1987 classic 80s movie. It even has the 80s montage. So it has everything that you're going to need, that you expect to have from an 80s flick. And I'm telling you, it's a joyride. It is a joyride. It's not scary. It's not scary, so you can let your kids watch it. Like I said, I let mine watch it, and it didn't scare them at all.
Don't be chicken shit.
So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Classic Movie Buffet Theater. I'm going to have another one coming out before too long. Hopefully, I can get back on track. Like I said earlier, I kind of got off track, and now I'm trying to get back on track. So thank you guys for hanging in there and sticking with me. We moved up a couple of subscribers, which is awesome. I thank you for that, and thank you for joining us. To the new subscribers, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the content. I hope you all enjoy the content, and I'll keep putting it out there as much as I can if y'all keep watching it. So once again, thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, everyone, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.